tiny and sweet, but with a little bite. Everything will be just fine if things can go right. So, Little Prince, the princess's younger brother, number one, small, much, much smaller than the majority of princesses. He has, however, an unfortunate tendency to see himself as much, much larger, generally as the biggest prince around. Number two, a dreamer lost in the stars, living on a cloud, accompanied by several servants. A dreamer lost in the stars, living on a cloud, accompanied a dreamer lost in the stars, living on a cloud, accompanied by several servants. Occasional nicknames: Small Fry Shrimp, just like in the Pixar movie, the Pixar short film Small Fry from Toy Story. And we have our positives too. So this is Princess Thumbelina. Not confused with that, but no offense. But that's similar than, it's just like Princess Thumbelina. Just like the story of Thumbelina. But this is Thumbelina, so here we go. She's just a little bit of a thing. A cutie patootie. A gem and a jewel not much bigger than your thumb. She's a real sweetie, but can sometimes get a little silly, mostly at night. The only solution: a lullaby sung by a pink rhinoceros, which sets everything right. See our positive there. See page 63. Excuse me. The queen. How do you become a queen? Well, here's an example. For many princesses, this occurs at the time of their marriage. A princess becomes a queen, which offers a certain number of advantages, like the right to wear makeup without being scolded. However, some remain princesses all their life. There's one who is more than 97 years old, still agile, still graceful. Princess Isis, the Snow Queen's great-granddaughter, lives by herself in an immense place of crystal and ice. Reopened the mirror factory founded by her great-grandmother, who invented a mirror that proved to be a commercial failure. Composed entirely of frost, it transformed the beautiful into the ugly. Be hard for me to read those, so I'll just skip it if I don't have to do it if I don't want to. Princess. We're almost done with this book, you guys. Then I have to return it soon, tomorrow. See? So here, the garden. An extraordinary garden, an English garden, or a French garden. All princesses possess at least a little corner of green. The poorest princesses sneak their flowers into hidden patches where no one knows. It is their secret garden. The wealthy take long walks around the grounds of their castle. Their favorite plants: lily and licorice. Favorite tree: that's similar than the girls named Lily and the candy licorice. Not the licorice you eat, though, and not the flowers of the lily, though, but that's okay, too, so let's go. Favorite tree: the crowned beech wood, not the beach you go. However, if you are invited, do note that some gardens can be traps. They can be dangerous, too. Watch out particularly for the Night Princess's greenhouse of carnivorous plants, as well as Princess Mollycoddle's garden maze. It reminds me of science, though, like biology. It is whispered that someone who have gone in have never come out again. It is whispered that someone who have gone in have never come out again. It will be too hard for me to read those, as I said in the previous page, you know. Princess and amphibian. Get it? Amphibian. Similar to an amphibian. Like the Disney Channel show Amphibian about Anne. Get it? So yeah. Her obsession with frogs is barely evident on the outside. She's very pretty, doesn't drool, doesn't croak, and doesn't have warts. Her skin isn't green, but rosy pink. I love rosy pink and green. She couldn't be sweeter or more refined. I could be sweeter, I'll always be refined. She lives in a palace, not in a pond, but she's always looking for her Prince Charming and is convinced that he is disguised as a frog, just like in The Frog Prince or The Princess and the Frog from Super Why and Disney Princesses. So even hopeful, she spends most of her time standing in ponds, kissing every green creature she encounters. On last report, she's still soggy and alone. Her cousin has a similar story, but a greater struggle. She believes her prince is hiding in the form of a dinosaur, but it is so difficult to come across a triceratops these days. Princess handsome or ugly, short or tall, nasty or nice, there is an infinite variety of princess. Royal lawn mower, used frequently by married princesses. It is not always easy for a prince to find his princess. He sometimes has to wander through the forest to find the one who is his destiny. Then he has to wake her up and kiss her, or kiss her to wake her up. Sometimes it ends badly, and he's transformed into a frog, or some other creature, the common fly, a beetle, or a desert fox. Not the kind of dessert you eat though, but I love dessert too. But generally, when a prince meets a princess, as the stories say, they lived happily ever after. But have you noticed that the stories just end there? What really happens to princess after they marry, Aw, she's beautiful. I love that picture of her. Meals. Princesses have a lot of opinions about food. One princess claimed that she only ate apples. Another said she lunched one. Another said she lunched. Another said she lunched on rose petal jam every day. Another said that meals. Princesses have a lot of opinions about food. One princess claimed that she only ate apples. Another said that she lunched on rose petal jam every day. One even declared that she will need. One even declared that all she needed to sustain her. One even declared that all she needed to sustain her were the loving looks from her devoted prince. We don't believe these things, but princesses love dramatic stories. In fact, princesses eat like everyone else. The only difference is that everything they swallow must first be carefully examined and tested by a taster. There are always quarrels and scenes going on in the palace, and sometimes these fights are settled with poison. One can never be too careful. And here's our royal cuisine. How to prepare a princess. 20 simple and savory recipes. This famous book was written by This famous cookbook was written by Awful the Awful, although they are homonyms and sound the same. But to tell you what, you guys, these words are spelled differently because they have different words. They are different spelled words, although they sound the same. They even rhyme too. Feared ogre, not ogre, and 3-time winner of a Golden Tongue Award, specializing in royal dishes, he only cooks the choicest morsels. His most famous preparations: Queen Mother's cake with royal icing. Oh, I love that. I love Queen Mother's cake with royal icing. Chicken a la king and Princess pea soup. I love that. Including that. Chicken a la king and Princess pea soup is also my favorite. Ever since his rise to fame, princesses prefer to avoid his restaurants. However, to be personally mentioned in one of his recipes is considered a significant honor. It speaks of one's great desirability and is noteworthy if unsettling distinction. But be careful of such flattery. Try to appear in the recipe. Try to appear in the recipe, but not on the plate, because that's not really right. It could be late. Are we almost done? Yeah, almost. Princess Buffet. Not buffets, but buffet. Even when she was very young, Princess Buffet took up a lot of space. The palaces where she lived and the clothes she wore were always too confining. At school, the other princesses were at first frightened by her unusual size and refused to play hopscotch or other games with her, but they soon realized her size was helpful in defending small kids from bullies and reaching tennis balls from the roof of the school. When she was at home in her palace, she played with the giants. Get it? The giants. Later on, she married the enormous Prince Brobdingnag. The enormous Prince Brobdingnag, son of a King Gargantua, but their peace only lasted a short time. They only needed so much food to maintain their enormous frames that they bickered regularly over a bit of fat roasted pig, or a turkey leg. I don't eat those, don't I? Well, sometimes, yes. Since then, Princess Buffet has spent most of her time planning banquets, just like how I went to the banquets at my school last fall on November 24th. I didn't even have time to upload because of a glitch also. Although her size is still off-putting to some, she is generally well-liked and is invited to many parties. She always knows where to find the finest foods to bring and comes well-stocked with treats. Well, she has been decorated with the prestigious Order of La-di-da. See page 82. To love oneself is the beginning of a lifelong romance. Princess Mitu, the daughter of a Maharaja and considered one of the most alluring creatures of all time. She is famous for engaging in numerous scandals, pushing the boundaries of protocol, upsetting norms, and disregarding convention. See Etiquette, page 22. She wears the most eccentric outfits, including strange dresses made of paper, glass, and even plastic. Her hair is red or sometimes blue. I love red and blue. Just like in the USA, like the 4th of July or the Independence Day. Her hair is red or sometimes blue, depending on the day. It is pink when she's in a good mood and black when she's miserable. There, I said it. I love pink and black also, by the way. Like, it reminds me of Blackpink, you know. Yeah, Blackpink. Red, blue. She eats the finest food served to her with her fingers, but uses a knife and fork to carefully cut French fries. The interior design of her palace matches her outrageous personality. Zebra skin sofas, fuchsia pink flowered walls, orange dishes, and transparent chairs. She's talked about wherever she goes. Her only fear to be ignored. Her only desire to be adored. Oh, I love these rhymes. It makes the same sound. Even it's so far around. And we are almost done with this book, you guys, before I head down to dinner. So, yeah. Practical guide. Everything you need to know about princesses. I'd rather not read the too much whole story book, but I love this book though. It's so princessy, you know. And anyways, that's the end of the story. And if you would like watching this, like and subscribe. So anyways, I have to head down for dinner. Bye. I'll see you guys tomorrow.